Hello, hello, everyone. I think I am live. Let's see. Maybe. Let's see. Home. There we go. Yes, I am live. Hello, Marcia. How are you? If you are here, make sure that you say hello so that I can say hey back. I would also appreciate it and love it if you could share and also give me a thumbs up. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Deb. How are y'all doing? Happy Monday. And happy Paper Pumpkin Monday. We're going to do a little bit of Paper Pumpkin, which y'all know I love doing the Paper Pumpkins every month. We're actually not even going to, I'm going to show you the dies that come with it, but I didn't even use those for tonight's projects, 2 projects. So we will dive into that in just a moment. I did want to share with you really quick. Don't forget, right now is the starter kit special. You can join for $35 and get $125 worth of products. The other thing is you can do the normal $99 and you can get $189 worth of products. So that is $90 free in products that you can get when you join right now. And we would love for you to join the Stamping Divas team. So the only other thing I wanted to share with you is the big, beautiful box for the 12 days of crafting Advent. Hold on. 12 days of crafting Advent calendar. That's a mouthful. That's a lot. I am really excited about this. Beginning of November, I will have 12 projects and 12 days for you. Some of those will be live, some of those will not be, but they will be posted every day for 12 days. So I'm super excited about creating those projects. You can still get this kit as of the last time I checked, so don't miss out on getting that. I think I heard someone say it's like $139 worth of products for only the $99. So it's kind of like, when you join with the starter kit. So yes, and that is actually what I just read was the free shipping. I went on to the demo site because I was looking for something else. I was looking at an order that I'd placed, made sure I remembered to order something. And October the 22nd through the 24th will be free shipping day. I just haven't printed my little flyer yet. So, yes, and it's orders over $75. So you could actually get this for free shipping. So all you would pay is tax on it. That is a good deal. It's always a good deal when you get free shipping. So, all right, let's dive into our projects because that is all I have for you. So I'm going to put you down on the table. I know, Verna, me too. Me too. I was trying to order some stuff for Christmas that I need for some classes, and wouldn't you know, I already ordered because that's usually how it works for me. I always order it right before or right before it comes out, or like a couple days before it comes out. So, all right, I have to plug in my phone too today. Let me see if I can stretch this cord across because my phone is almost dead. I was on the phone a whole lot today at work with teachers calling me and all of that. So I need to get that charged and make sure that I don't go dead on you. Okay, so here is the paper pumpkin, and I always do the cards on how they are intended. So I've got 3 different cards here. Let's see if I can lay them out so you can see them. So you've got a little Christmas tree, you got the Joy to the World and Deck the Halls. I did want to give you a little hint. This Joy to the World, if you look at the picture, I thought it was a separate little sentiment label that goes down here. It is not. You're going to stamp it below the Joy. So before you pop it up on dimensionals, make sure you stamp your Joy, or make sure you stamp to the world, okay? I learned the hard way, and if you look real close, I got some smushing right there. But you know what? A non-crafter won't notice it, right? Oh, Deb, you ordered too? Yeah. It's always a sad day. It's always a sad day. Although sometimes it gives me an excuse to maybe order one more time for the month, right? Probably not this month, though. Probably not this month. Okay. So I wanted to show you these really quick. We're not going to use these tonight, but I do have a project that I'm working on for Friday, and I will probably use the tag and the joy piece on Friday. So, but it's really cute. So these are the dies. They're $12. If you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you can get these, and it will coordinate with your October, November, and December Paper Pumpkin kits. So it is always a great value to add on to any order for the $12. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you a sneak peek of a new embossing folder that is coming out and that I'm super excited about because I feel like it is a delicate yet impactful embossing folder. So it will be part of the new online exclusives that come out. So it is called Beautiful Pattern, and that's the order number. It'll come out on, I think it's November. Hello, Angie. I think it might be the first Tuesday in November. I can't remember. They've changed some dates on us on things that come out, and now I'm just all lost. Well, I'm usually lost, but that's okay. It's part of who I am, right? So anyway, it is a very pretty pattern. I really like it. And this is what it's going to look like. And I'm going to show you a technique so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. Because if you'll notice, the two of those next to each other, this is a little bit more bold. It's got like a little bit more punch. So I'm going to show you how we're going to add that to it. And then we're going to do all these pieces here. And this is the ornament that comes in the kit, but we're going to flip that over and we're going to stamp Merry Christmas on it. And I'm going to make sure I have a piece of grid paper for later on because I am going to need it. All right, so let's stamp our sentiment. Let's see if I can get it good and inked up and in the right direction. That's always helpful. Always, always. Okay, and so we're going to stamp this right here. Nice, big, and bold. I love this Merry Christmas. I was designing the cards for my in-person class, and when I was trying to find the sentiment, I wanted Merry Christmas, but I couldn't find one that I particularly liked. And then I got in the Paper Pumpkin kit. And voila, it was exactly what I needed. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to do this. So we're going to take a piece of grid paper. We are going to take our cherry cobbler, and we're going to run it across our embossed. So I've already embossed it, you can see the raised there. So we're just going to gently rub it across. And how I do it is I just catch the edge and I run it across. Because I feel like if you smash it down and rub it, you get a lot of like streaks. And I was going to show you, but I already threw my trash out, so never mind. Because it can catch a lot of your extras and it'll just give like streaks of ink on it. So the best way is to take your edge and you're just going to run it lightly across. And you can see I put a little too much pressure there. Then we're going to move it down. And we're going to do it again, just lightly across. Then we're going to flip it. And we're going to do lightly across. And then you can go back and add a little bit more. And you can go in the opposite direction if you want to do that too. Kind of make sure you're getting real good ink on it. Do note that you'll probably get a little bit of ink on your fingers, which is okay. It's okay. It is. Carrie. It is a very nice, big, bold Merry Christmas, which I love those. So then there you go. Now I do have a little bit of streaking there when I did it the first time. Totally my fault, but I also think that can add some character if it's not all the way across as well. So we're gonna let that set and dry, because your paper pumpkin kits, the pieces that come in your kits, they are comparable to our cardstock, but the difference is they have a little bit of slickness to them. So if you stamp on those card bases and pieces in the kit, they tend to take a little bit longer to dry. So just know that you need to set it aside, let it dry, because otherwise you really will have it all over you. Okay. All right. So we're going to put our card base together. And of course I need to pull a little piece of basic white cardstock for the inside. Good thing I cut extra ones all the time, because I forgot to put one for there. So we're going to attach this inside. All right, there we go. Now we're going to put this together. So I'm going to put a little glue dot up here at the top. And the reason I'm going to put it here is I'm going to then add our little, this is like the ornament topper, and then it's got our little foliage or whatever you want to call it at the top. But first, before I do that, let me cut off. We don't need this part, and so we're just going to trim it off. Maybe I should come from this side so I can see it, because I just want to follow it as a round, so that you can't tell that I really cut that off. Okay, and then we're going to set this down on top of it like that. Okay, now these are some pieces that come in your kit. This is technically connected together for one of your cards that you do, so I just cut it apart. This is going to attach right about here behind, which is why I didn't put glue here, because this is going to attach down there. So we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, just like that. We're going to fold those edges over, and then we're going to stick this right in here. So we want to make sure we cover up that wacky cut edge. Then we're going to take, what I want to do is I actually want to cut these apart. So this one here, we're going to trim. We're going to come in like this. And then we're going to just go around like that. And then we're going to cut this kind of like that. Okay. All right. This piece, we want to trim off that little edge there. And then we're just going to cut off the bottom. All you're going to see on our card is the top part, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of adhesive to that bottom. And then we're going to stick this right here. Just like that. It's kind of adding in like another little holly leaf. Okay, then our next one, our little piece here, we're going to attach right here. So we're going to put glue this time on the back, right there. And then we're going to attach it there. All right, perfect. Let's flip that over. Let's add some dimensionals. And we're going to use some edge pieces too, for the little pieces that stick out like that. There we go. And that backing came off right on my finger. All right, let's do a little one here like that. And then we'll just do like that. Okay, that's a lot, but that's okay. All right, this should be dry now, so we're going to flip that over. We're going to add some dimensionals to the back. and 2 more. We're going to attach this to our card front. Oh, I did mean to tell you, I haven't done a blog. I'm going to wait till I do my one on Friday, my card on Friday, and then I'll do one blog for all of that. So all the measurements and stuff will come out on Friday for you. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's take off these. And then we'll stick this onto our card front. We're going to attach this a little closer to the right, like that. Give it just a little bit more. There we go. And that's just because you've got this one hanging over, so it's going to kind of even out your edges so it's not hanging off to where it hangs off the card. Then we're going to use some gold ribbon. And last I checked, this was still available. This is probably some of my favorite ribbon. It comes in a silver and a gold. And it's been around for a while too, which is great because I love it. All right, then we're going to grab a glue dot and we will attach it right underneath our holly berries. And then last but not least, we have the embellishments that came in the kit, and I really liked them. So we are going to, sorry, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. We're going to attach it right here to our card front. And I'm using my scissors because for these, you got to get up underneath it to get that sticky part. Okay, so there is card number 1. Yes, I loved this kit. Once I started playing around with it with other cards. Not that I didn't like these, but it's not necessarily my style. So this one is definitely with the little extra embossing in it. So, okay, here's card number 2. This one's a little different. All I could think of when I saw these little pieces here was that it was a Christmas tree. I mean, you know, like little mini Christmas trees, you know, because it's obviously building one. So it took me a minute to kind of think, what else could I do with it? And so I came up with the wreath idea. All right, so what I've done is I have already cut the majority of them. And what we're going to do together is we're going to cut these 3 out. Now, don't overcomplicate it. Yes, it is fussy cutting, but I promise you it's really easy. All you're going to do is cut around. I'm going to show you this. Some of them that are at the bottom will have the little scalloped edge. But y'all, when you look at this, you can't tell unless you really start looking at each one. You can't tell that some are scalloped and some are not. So don't make it complicated. Just literally cut around it like a circle. And then I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the white because you don't need quite that much white. Okay, and then we're going to come over here and we are literally going to cut straight down. That's it. This one, we're going to cut off the little pointy part. And then we're going to go straight down. And then we're going to go straight up to give it just a little less of the white edges. That is it. Very simple. Oh, you know what I forgot to put? Oh, no. Y'all, I forgot to put the star on the last card. Look, I forgot to stick it right in there. Okay, let's do that now. Sorry, squirrel. You know, sometimes I don't know how I missed it being on there. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of it. And it's going to stick right here behind the holly leaf, popped up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Okay, So before we start putting those to the back of it, we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment, and it is going to be joy. And then we're going to do to the world, and I need to pull that out and that. Okay, so we're going to do the joy to the world in Cherry Cobbler. And we're going to ink up, stamp it in. We're going to stamp it just a little higher up. I stamped it in the center on the sample, and I think stamping it up just a little bit will also help with the to the world. Oh, I still need that. Let's stamp our to the world. All right, and we're just going to do that right here. And then I'm going to get some stuff out of my way over here. I feel like I'm crowding myself. Y'all ever do that when you're crafting? My crafting starts with lots of space, and then I work my way down to a little, like, tiny corner. All right, we're going to take and we're going to flag the ends of the of this part of our sentiment. I'm just going to cut up that center and then come up from the edges. And then we're going to do it on this side. We're going to cut off a little bit on this side and then go up. And then trim both sides, and ta-da, as I flick paper across the table. Okay, so then this piece is going to be popped up right here, but we're not going to do that yet. What I want to do is grab my so favorite glue. Let me see if I even have any glue in this one. I actually need to order more. Let's see if I can get any out. It might be a goner. Yep, I think it's a goner. Officially, I think it's a goner. Let me get my other one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some liquid glue around the edge. And I'm going to put quite a bit, and only because I need it to not dry as quickly. So I'm just going to go around it a couple times. Okay? All right. Then we are going to start putting these on. So I'm going to pick it up from the center. Oh, I'm just getting it all over myself. This is why. Okay. And we're going to just start attaching, and it's going to go in just like that. And then you're just going to go down, and you're going to go all the way around. Some of them are going to overlap a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. That's what we want. And then some are not. I'm going to put some on top of, I'm going to kind of mix match a little bit. You can see I'm putting like some, you know, like that one's kind of in the background or whatever. So we'll do that with this one. And then we're going to keep going around. And I'm just going to have glue everywhere on me. Oops, but that's all right. It'll be worth it in the end. I'll pull out my little piece to make it not so sticky on our project. And it's going to take all of them from that Christmas tree you saw in the How It's Supposed to Be Made sample. And I think my glue is starting to dry. Let's see. Let's press that one down. All right, and let me get my fingers a little unsticky. All right, and let's do this one. here. We're just going to keep going around until we're done. I got everything sticking to it. And like here, I feel like this one can move a little bit closer. So we're going to move that a little bit closer, and then we'll move that one closer, which then will allow us to stick our last one on there. And we're going to stick it in like this. Okay, ta-da, there we go. All right, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to rub my fingers really quick. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Yes, it really is. You know, cherry cobbler is, I love cherry cobbler for Christmas. It's probably one of my very favorite colors. Okay, let me grab my silicone mat. Because I'm going to then grab my glue eraser. Because that is what I use on a regular basis to get glue off of my projects. Okay. There we go. Now we have a pretty joy. We're going to flip that over. We're going to add some dimensionals to it. And I'm going to actually add a whole bunch. I just feel like it'll kind of help it all stabilized. I mean, you know, you probably really don't have to, but that's just the way my brain thinks. All right, so there we go. We're going to set that aside for just a second. We're going to take this piece, which is one of those card bases from the kit. We're going to take some basic beige. We're going to take some stars. This is in the stamp set, which is these right here. So you got a big Merry Christmas, Joy, Deck the Halls, To the World, and then you've got this single star, and then you've got this. It's kind of like star clusters. It could also probably be snowflakes. And we're going to stamp several of them over here in this corner. And let's go about there too. And then we're going to stamp down here in this corner. Okay. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just to add a little bit more to the background. And then, all right, hold on just a second. Let me move that out of my way. All right, so then we're going to take our Joy and we're going to adhere it to our card front. All right, so make sure we have it the right side up. Ta-da. Then we're going to take the Joy to the World. We're going to put dimensionals on the back. So I'm going to put that one and that one. And then we're going to add it underneath Joy in the right direction. Ta-da. And then let's put our card base together. So we'll flip this. And let's put this on our inside. And look, I got like little gloobers going on that piece too. And I didn't even touch that one until just then. See, that's why me and liquid glue don't do so well. All right, we're going to take and pop this one up as well. Never too many dimensionals. Never, ever too many dimensionals. All right, and then one more. We'll put this onto our card front. It's gonna go right here, like that. You could also add some of those stars to the actual basic beige card base as well if you wanted. All right, then last, but well, not last, but next to last, we're gonna add this real red and white baker's twine. Now, because it's like striped, you can't tell that it's really any different color than the cherry cobbler. So that's what we're going with. And I haven't really used this twine very much. I think it came out a while back, if I'm not mistaken. So we're just gonna tie a bow, and then we're gonna cut off those tails. And once we do that, we're gonna grab a glue dot. And then we're gonna shove it up underneath the edge of this. Attach it right there. Then last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna attach our little fun embellishments. So we're gonna put that one there, grab a little small one and stick it there, get a large one, and we're gonna put it down here. Okay, there we go. There are 2 of our projects for this week. We'll have a 3rd one on Friday. And I will pull in our cards from tonight and try to move things out of my way already. Okay, great. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, I will have the blog post posted on Friday for this. So thanks so much for joining me tonight, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye. Oh, and Friday will be over on Facebook. So not YouTube, it'll be on Facebook. Okay, have a great night. Bye.